How we doing, shipmates? Let's see how we are on there. Yeah. Shipmates. Okay, quick introduction. I'll share it again when some more people catch up. Tonight's Paintalong is Age of Chivalry Warriors. These are foot bows. On foot long bows. CHV 03D. There's 8 in the box because these are warriors, so they're getting 8. Right, and I'm gonna have a go at the paint all 8, and I've limited myself to 3 hours. So this is going to be 7:30 to 10:30. So if you could join me for a bit, jump in and out. I'm going to shout the paints out as I go along. Start with Moonstone Skin. And away we go. So it's going to be, I'm trying less rambling this time. Obviously, it'd be nice if we can get all 8 done in the 3 hours and have them looking. I want them to look. So, as it goes for Age of Chivalry, is because everyone kind of looks kind of the same if you keep it all nice and generic. So that's how these paint jobs are going to be approached. Ahoy, shipmate, how are we doing? Got your box. I haven't managed to get to it yet. I will do. Working through backlog as quick as we can. Ahoy, TMP. So, yeah, so tonight's we're using these guys from Gripping Beast, CHV03D, Age of Chivalry Warriors, Bows Foot. Which, in fairness, are the same as the Levy. These are the front rank minis. So, it's up to you really here. You've got a bit of a choice. You can, if you like, mucking around on websites, etc., and picking your own guys, you could, the front rank stuff you can order individually, so you can actually make sure everyone is completely different and stuff like this. Or you can let the Beastie Boys do it and get the bases as well. Don't, obviously the front rank you don't get the bases, but if you've got a lot of, you base them on penny 2Ps or MDF or whatever. Evening Kubla. But I thought it'd be quite interesting if we just bash through these, because I know a lot of people are getting troops ready for Age of Chivalry, or adding, as this would be adding a point before I start in the box. I've got the 4-point box, but I haven't managed to do the unboxing video for it yet, so I thought I'd make a start on the archers. Because to go with the box, I've got a point of warriors and a point of levy bowmen, but I've had time to kind of work out what I want to do. Yeah, warband wise, so I thought if I keep everything nice and generic, the 5 is you can use them for pretty much everything, and then just paint your special dudes up. So going on these guys, obviously out the packets onto the bases, fairly with super glue, little few mold lines to take out. Then I've done our usual Zenith full undercoat, but I've gone a little bit heavier with the light grey. The reason I did that because I knew I might have to use, well, I intend to use some speed paints for a couple of bits on here. So I wanted them to be a bit lighter for the paint to work better. So I'll keep gabbling on, talk amongst yourselves in the chat room. And obviously the less I get sidetracked, the more chance I got of finishing these guys with a lot of time. I don't want to rush them so they're, you know, I'm just going to show you some, hopefully, some cool shortcuts to get them finished. Kind of back painting. It's a bit of my thing, really. So first up, do you guys think I'm going to get them done in the 3 hours? You've seen me paint, guys. You know the score. What do you think? I think the more pertinent question is, what kind of level can we get them to in 3 hours? You all know we can paint them in. You probably paint me in less time than that. Well, the only other thing I've done that I don't usually do is, obviously, I painted the bases. Yeah. Rich tried that one, didn't you, mate? Okay, so now I've got the flesh tone on. So next, I want it quite dry. We're going to go gunmetal. I was tempted on using the speed paint metal, but which would be quicker, undoubtedly, but in fairness, I do like it. The gunmetal better. So I'm just gonna bit of medium. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, so what's been going on in the Pirate Island? There's lots in the pipeline. Absolutely lots. There's definitely some watch this space stuff going on. Just trying to juggle it all to get it going, if you know what I mean. We're getting there. We'll keep you updated. Yeah, so I had a bit swamped with commissions at the moment, in fairness, which is, I'm not complaining. Thank you very much, guys. You know who you are, keeping me busy and out of mischief. teaching the ship's wench how to pack miniatures properly, so they get nice and safe, because something we do pride on ourselves on is wrapping it up nice and safe. There's a dog snoring and farting. So what else have we got going on? Yeah, we're going to do an unboxing video. Hopefully over the weekend I'm going to do some computery work as well over the weekend. So hopefully we can do some vids. So do an unboxing of the Age of Chivalry 4-point box. And probably an unboxing on Pirate Plays as well. Got a couple of interesting ones lined up as well for that, different stuff. So if you've not been across to my other channel, there's only 4 videos up at the moment. This guy. So I'll just put a bit of, you don't want too much medium in your metallic paints because they kind of just fall apart really easy. But I like putting a little bit in the brush, so it just gets in there a bit easier, if you know what I mean. So for speed wise, I would say using the broadsword silver out of the Speed Paint 2 box is probably your best bet. I do like that. It's very good on chainmail as well. But you know me, I like putting the wash over this. So I'm going to try and do as many of our normal steps as we can. So you guys, any sorry about last week. Yeah, last week got away from me big style. I kind of maxed my eyeballs out on a big order, and I got to Friday and I kind of hadn't anything set up. So my apologies. Keep it neat, but keep it neat, Rich. Okay. So any hobbying done over the last 2 weeks now for you guys since I last chatted? Yeah, it was just you're right. It was just you know when they get tired and they're telling you to stop, you got a list, don't you? I thought, oh, shall I do a live unboxing or something? I thought, well, that won't last very long and it's not great, and so I thought, oh, okay. But yeah, it's been some interesting stuff of the pleasure to paint, which is cool. Nice. Oh, sorry, Rich, I've not got back to you with the dates of our grudge match. I'll get on it tomorrow, and you'll realise why I've been so frazzled in the near future. Oathsworn, nice. Nice. Yeah, the current commission I'm doing, I've painted the old Indiana Jones box set from 1984, which the TSR one, which is quite cool. That's all boxed up now, so I can't show you unfortunately, but the pictures are up on Facebook and that. I visited the Beastie Boys. Darren was busy making troll shields. Cool. Did I just say that out loud? Sorry, Beasties. Well, I don't think it was top secret. In fact, I grabbed some dwarfs from Darren the other day, some of the Ragnarok ones. And Durin's folk. Yeah, we were talking about. I was talking with Lord S about the sword and. I was going to say sword and chivalry. Age of Chivalry. Like this. I was looking at the. The obviously the saga sets are good, but I still think the way to do them is to go through the front rank pages and pick your individual miniatures. Right, so that's our metal. So I'm going to quickly do the Crusader Skin Speed Paint 2 Flesh Wash so that can go and dry. Yeah, so what was I? Oh yeah, the latest commission was the Indiana Jones box set, and he's also on painting some of his fighting fantasy. I think he must have done the Kickstarter or something when Blue Giant did their Atlantis miniatures. I've painted a couple for him already, and got a few more. But it's a few I hadn't seen. I think they were for early orders or whatever. So just laying this down as a wash over that moonstone, as we usually do. I'm letting it go on quite heavily because depending on time, we might get back to highlighting it out. We might not. I don't know. We're 20 minutes in. I should put my stopwatch down here, shouldn't I? I thought some of those were really the expressions on some of the faces were just perfect, and people say that there's no, detail on old lead miniatures. That's 1984. Yeah, I mean it's the Indians. I like the chariots. I'm a bit, as you know, I'm a bit of a sucker for a chariot. I just know they got so much on, and they're pushing and trying to get organised to do extra stuff and what have you. They really are going for it. They got the new range that they're taking on as well. So I mean, I know they got it. The good thing is, well, they've got it all in hand, so it's not going to be one of those Kickstarters you order it and you're going to be waiting. They're really on the ball at the moment. They've caught up with a load of their orders as well, so that's good because one of the casters that was off ill is back. Right, bang, and yeah, big shout out to Big Boy Dave, and so they're really catching up. Yeah, I've not seen the full range yet, so I know demo guy Richard's seen them, and he was seeing their praises. Let's get to. Should we do a distraction? Should we do a distraction, Rich, just for you? So we'll see. So these were the two of the Fighting Fantasy guys I painted earlier. There's the tickets from the Quag Shuggoth, very confusing, and a Devourer. So let's see. You might have seen them because I've put these up already, but hey, they look better under this light, I think. Because in the pictures he looks really grey in the light box. Yeah, he's got those old Manson lamps going on, isn't he? And where's Mr. Quag? Oh, here he is. I did them slightly different from the pictures. You know what I mean? I just thought it was a nicer green. Then so you can give me some crap when I don't finish in time. Yeah, I know. I gotcha. Ah, you're not seen the next two I'm painting, are you? Oh, there we go. Is it the Razak or something, that one? He's like a medieval necromancer guy. And I can't remember this guy's name. He's the assassin guy. Azur. So those two are nearly done. Yeah, there was one on the Kickstart, wasn't there? I did a Kickstart for a board game they'd done, and it looked like all the original, my picture kind of, not pictures. Right, so Wasteland Clay. I'm just gonna get those bows bashed in. We've got the big fat brush out. I think, Rich, I've got I think there's one more commission after that one. I think I've got one more miniature to finish that one. Then I've got a little Middle Earth one to do, and then I'm on yours. Some of the fine fancy stuff. Just adding a bit of medium to this to help it cover. It's all exciting stuff. Well, it's like I've said in the past, what we do is we paint get it to a tabletop as quickly as you can, but we want to leave it into a situation where if we want to pick it back up and add a bit more to it, it's not a closed book, if you know what I mean. So that's what will probably happen with these guys. Hopefully in the 3 hours we'll get somewhere where they'd be usable. I think it's just important when you're trying to batch paint, just to get into a decent workflow. When people say, "Oh, speed paint this or slap chop that," sometimes if you just work it, so it's like I've not had to stop to wait for anything to dry yet, but I've got that second layer on. So as you go on to the next one, I'm doing this as that metallic's drying. Not so bad in the summer because it all dries really quick. So as you notice, I like work 4 and then 4 because you always know which ones to grab next. They'll be the driest ones. So as I start to move them back and forth through my desk, I'm giving them as maximum chance to dry as I can in between, which is really important when you're using washes and the speed paint. Use a bit of speed paint in a minute. I think it's a good tool. It's not one I use an awful lot. Well, I think about these axes. I'm going to give them the same wood, I think. I want to give the arrows a darker wood. What do you think? For speed, we could do them all the same. That's the other thing as well. When you're speed painting, or batch painting, as we used to call it, back in the day. The tight you keep your palette, less colours. So the less colours you use, basically, the quicker you're going to go. So that's the reason, really. I'm going to hit all the wood without saying. That means we can use the darker brown to hit the levers with. Probably going to deploy the secret weapon for that. So I'll just go back over these. Grab the owls. Oh God, the dog's fine. He's snoring fart. I wonder if his snore and his fart go at the same time as he'll implode. That'd be messy. Oh, it stinks. Oh man, he's trying to sabotage me. Rich, have you been talking to the dog? I was thinking of getting him his own channel on YouTube, like an ASMR snoring channel, whatever. Yeah, so nothing really. I think that's the thing with this idea of speed painting. It's, oh my God. You had a new style chew earlier. I don't know if you guys have seen them. Yak. I think they're made from yak milk or something. I think it might be, and it said that they can have a strange reaction to. Yeah, you're lucky. You can only hear it. Pray for me. I'm not sure how many yak chews he's going to have after tonight, in fairness. Or he might have them when he's just gonna. Well, I'm going out and he's got to stay downstairs with his mummy. That's unnecessarily cruel, isn't it? Yeah. So, well, we were talking about speeding up the painting by using the less colours and. Oh, dearie me. Sorry if that's getting onto the audio, guys. That is the wrong prayer. Lord, save me. Save me from my lungs being destroyed. Yes, now, no, if you're going to visit friends and relatives and they've got a dog, buy a yak milk chew for their dog. Oh, it'll be the present that keeps on giving. Okay, let's grab a red. It doesn't really matter which one. Slaughter red's slightly darker than poppy red, but we're going to matte lacquer it anyway. If they're too bright at the end of all this, we can put a wash over it. So we slightly, and yeah. So what we do is we just grab some of that poppy red. Speed paint does lend itself to paint these because you want everything nice and bright. Some nice colours. I'm going for quite bright on these ones, and then the next batch are I've got 12 Levy and pretty much the same miniature, but I'm going to paint them with maybe some darker colours, but maybe not. Okay. Yeah, there is a chance of that. So what you want to do is when you're doing these batches and you want to speed it up a bit, is this is the next cheat. I mean, some of these you guys know and you'll do, but obviously I've got to talk about something. So what I do is I'm on this red, so I don't want to paint all the shirts red. So I'll grab the first guy and I'll paint his shirt red. And the second guy I'm painting his, what did we just say that was called? Snood bib? I don't know. And you can, if you wait for it to dry, you can do the half and halves and that with this, but I'm not going to have time to do that. So, and the next guy, you can have some red tights. But you could easily do a red and a blue, or a red and a green, just to make sure. In fact, we're going to mix it up a bit, so you can have a red leg. Capuchon. Ah, nice. Thank you, Kubla. He had the right leg, so you can have the left leg. This as well is game wise is how you can keep track of who's who. So you could have red all going through it, you know what I mean? And this guy's got quite a nice shirt on, so we'll just give him so I'm being quite generous with this over that light velour, light grey. I think it's called, is it called ghost grey? Used to be called, I think they just call it grey now, because I think it's, it might be light grey, I can't remember. This, I think it's bright enough to do the speed paint with. If you really want this stuff to go really nuclear bright, you should put it over a white. The beauty about this speed paint too, as well, is it does dry really quick. So for like 5 minutes, you're not going to disturb it too much. You can't paint over it in 5. You want to leave it longer than that, but it's certainly dry enough to go and do. It's where I'm leaving his belt, for instance. I've got, in 5 minutes time I could go and paint his belt in without it bleeding, whereas the speed paint ones, you know, where you wrapped it, just used to reactivate all the time. Which is weird, because when they brought the 2s out, I just got used to using the 1s and using that to make blends with. And then I thought, well, okay, I'm not going to muck around with them anymore. Let's miss him. And we miss him as well. I think we'll miss him out. But that's enough red. Let's get another good colour. I think there's a nice strong green. Or what was it? Orc skin. Get some of these going so nice and dry. You can see my palette on there tonight. Let's use some of these. Is it the back for easy? Yeah, let's use some of them so you can see. So go back to the start again. And we're not going to put green on him. Let's give him some green. I thought about this the other day. I do like the speed paint 2 stuff, and I don't use it. I don't get to use it enough. but it's a decent product and you can use it. I don't think you can do a, well, you can do a whole new, but you get to the point where you've got to work hard to use it, if you know what I mean. Now I've painted whole miniatures of it when I was playing around with it, and if you do the whole miniature of it, it's hard work to make it look anything than just rushed, if you know what I mean. But I think if you use not sparingly, but you know what I mean. It's going to look quite bright at the moment because it's underneath this very strong light. I'm not going to go too mad with this green because we're going to use another green as well, just to mix it all up a bit. Tell you what, this guy looks really Robin Hood, doesn't he? I'll have to go through the front rank, make myself some proper geezers. Right, let's get some blue in there. Beowulf blue. Magic blue is quite bright. Let's use magic blue. Blue one. Yeah. Okay, so start from the other end again. Let's just give everything a chance. Again, no blue for you. You can have blue. Blue kind of waistcoat because he's got like different arm pieces. You can try and be neat. That's the art of these, is being neat. Which is not easy when you're rushing. Ironically, the speed paints you need to take your time with, really. Miss doing this. But I can't go in there with the wood and do that at the moment because there's too much wet blue paint around there at the moment. Blue leg. Now, as ever, it's like the washes, they will run into gaps and stuff. We've all played with these, we all know what they do. But so sorry if it sounds like I'm teaching you to suck eggs or more. Now we're starting to get quite bright, so this would be the last bright colour I use, and I'll start using some of the more muted colours now to rein it back. It's looking quite bright because obviously I put these over, almost put them over white. So you've really got to jottle those colours around, really. Jottle, is that a word? I don't know. So now we swap back to our normal palette. See, we're up to an hour now. Not too bad. Right, whilst we remember it, we're going to grab our dark shade, our black wash, as it were. We're going to deal with the chainmail, so that can be drying. Oh, pardon me. I'm joining with the dog now. Yeah, so heads up, next Friday then we'll be doing the 4-point, or starting the 4-point Age of Chivalry start box, the infantry one. So I will get the unboxing of that one done, because otherwise it means I've got to do archers again, and it'd be more of the same. So don't really want to do that, do we? So already that blue's nearly dry. Let's see if we can quickly, yep. Bopping is bopping iron. I don't know if that's the correct term for a mallet, a bopping iron. It works. I think that was a snore of approval from the dog. So I missed a bit of chainmail there, but by the time I got the black wash over it, I'm making a hit with a bit of silver and a bit. I might still, oh yeah, it's still dry. Still not dry, so we just put some of that in there, mix it with a bit of ink, that'll be fine. There we go. So any of that gunmetal we've already got on there, just drop that black on there. Yes, if anyone wants to do start painting a box along, to start the 4-point box set next week, if you drop an order and then on the notes put, I want to paint along with Pirate Rich, I'll try and talk to the beasties nicely about getting it there on time. Shouldn't be far out at the moment, actually. They'll turn it over pretty quick, as I said. Then after that, if you want to, after we've done that, we'll be doing a jugular one. We're gonna do an unboxing of. I've got the complete everything you need to play jugular basically picked up. So I'm going to do an unboxing video where we go through it all. And then we're going to do a paint along to paint some of the old glads up. And then once they're painted up, we're going to do a play along. That'd be good fun, wouldn't it? Okay, so next we're going to deploy secret weapon. Those of you that are new to the channel, Vallejo Model Air Burnt Umber. It's our secret weapon for speeding stuff up. You can use this for leather, wood, hair, anything you want really. Let me watch this. So still using the brush with the bendy tip at the moment because I've can't bother to swap. It's lazy. But again, it's because I'm using these paints. They're going to flow straight up inside the bristles and brush anyway. That's what the speed paints do. When you're using those speed paints or washes, make sure you're using your older brushes. Don't wreck your good brushes. Yeah. Instant leather, look at that. I can never decide about these, the hat this guy's wearing. Well, he looks like he's got a tiled head. I can never decide whether to do them as leather or as metal. And I can't really find metal on which way they should be, so I tend to go with what I'm feeling at the time I paint it, which I think is always a good way to go. But they get, yeah, there's quite a bit of leather on these guys, and we're just letting this paint do the heavy lifting for us. Look. I thought they were little metal plates, yeah, but they do look good as little leather slats as well. Were they ever leather, or was it always metal? It's always metal. I will paint it as metal. I usually do paint them as metal, but I know sometimes when I've painted quite a few of them, I'll do the odd one like leather, which I've still got the gunmetal out, so we'll go with your greater judgment, Kubler, and we shall drop some. There we go. Let that dry for a bit and then wax them. But you see that brown really works, and it really does speed the whole shooting match up. And it's because I tried when I found it. Obviously, I bought some other Flairware paints, and it's not the case for all of them. It just seems to be that color. And if you buy it in any of the other ranges, it doesn't. It's not the same because it's got to be that Model Air. When I saw they'd changed it into another bottle, I thought, oh no, hope they've not changed the paint. But it seems the same. It's just got a stupid top on it now. It seems to get all gubbed up. Someone else knows that about Vallejo. I don't use a lot of Vallejo anymore. But the new pots are the same as the two thin coats Duncan's ones. They seem to gub up. I think that's the official word, gub. And you see I'm painting this belt, yeah, and the state of this brush is that it's knackered. It is the secret weapon. Darren tried to stock it, but couldn't get just the single things because it keeps running out. So whenever I see it, I always buy a few bottles and chuck it in my drawer because it's. Look how much that speeds the process up. There's some other Speed Paint 2 Army Painters. Satchel Brown's good, but it's very dark. There's a dusk red if you prefer a slightly reddier looking leather. But it's like using the ordinary paints. I'd have to put the base layer on, maybe a wash or maybe a second coat, but this gives us a nice happy kind of solution for making something look like you've done some work to it, but you haven't. Which was, I think, in the spirit of the speed paints, really. It does look very good on wood as well. And unsurprisingly, it works very well for an airbrush. Strange that for an airbrush paint, isn't it? But I know when I've done some siege engines and stuff and used, it seems to work. It seems to have slightly better coverage than a speed paint for an airbrush. So it's like, yes. If you haven't got any, get some. Perhaps I should contact Vallejo and say I'd like to stock it on my stall at conventions, but just that one paint. I don't think they go for that. Rotters. I'm just going to put a little bit of medium in it. It does, if it starts to get gloopy in the palette and not run as well, just pop a little bit of medium in it. The trick with this is for it to be quite runny, because that's what's saving you the time. The fact is, when you play around with it, it kind of almost runs into the area you need it without having to do too much brush work. If you look at those speed paints, they kind of go very matte, which looks kind of weird at the moment. But when we're finished and we put the matte lacquer over it, it kind of blends it in a bit, and it doesn't look as false, I want to say. I don't know if that's the right word. Now he's got a big old chunky brigandine. Is it brigandine? Yeah, brigandine. You could go for black over this. Get black. Yeah, we'll do that, because I can use this brown as the. I was going to do it like brown leather, but you could do any colour you like really with the brigandine, because it's a material anyway, isn't it? So I think Dr. Bob's one is like a blue colour. But you see how much we're using this brown. It's earning its pay tonight. I've missed his hat as well. Look, he's got tiles. Okay. There's also in the sword silver. I've just missed the back of it. So yeah, just coming back to our secret weapon for one last go. Oh, pardon me. It really does flow on nice, this brown. So you wouldn't believe how destroyed this brush is I'm using. I don't know if you can see. But we're going to put some brown wash over it at the end, so it's all going to tone down a few tones. There we go. Yeah, it sounded like it, didn't it? They do more different. They were just the plain ones, but there was like blueberry and all sort of thinking, Jesus. Good job I kept them plain. Okay. So next we're going to go for. There's these guys wearing this quilted sort of stuff. It can be painted, but I'm going to tone down the colour ranges, I'm going to do it like a tan colour. And I'm going to use a brush that's got a point. So we'll just go through, grab some different ones. There's more of these guys I want. I'm going to water it down with our nice medium. How are we doing time? 1 hour and 13 minutes so far. And I've only had one distraction so far, which is pretty good for me. It's a bit thick there. It's a bit thick, so I'm going to put some medium into my brush. Thin the paint down on the miniature, because I don't want it to be really thick and lose that detail. Yeah. Real know I've got the ones under the bench that are already finished, Rich. And here's ones I prepared earlier. In true Blue Peter fashion. Just slowly sneak them out onto the desk. Clock is ticking. It certainly is, my friend. So you've only got to do enough shortcuts to get you towards your target, and then you can start adding work on. I want this quite solid because I'm going to put a wash over this. There we go. We don't want to go thick and gloopy and lose all the bottom one. Oh no, he's only done it again. Fun enough, he's not had a bit. He's just starting to murmur a bit. He's not. Sometimes he has these mega dreams and he gets really loud. It's as if you want me to fail, Rich. So yeah, there we have it. So any of you guys tried Age of Chivalry yet? I got the book. That's as far as I got. I got flumped by commissions and haven't had any reading time. And a lot of people have been like saying how universal the miniatures are, so which is really cool for one of the saga ages. You... Okay. So now let's get some. Which one was it? There was some of these. What was it? Gilly or something or other. That was really bright. Desolate brown. This is a good greeny brown, sort of earthy colour. So, nearly at the halfway stage. Da, da, da. What if I do is tabard in this, you'll see what it's like. I think they've still got some of the basic sets on their website. They're worth getting, I think. It's worth having. I don't think you need all of them, but if you have a few go-to colours, they seem to last quite well. I think they're more consistent than the GW ones. They seem to be really good or really bad, the GW ones, but I've not found many bad ones, if you know what I mean. And if you let these dry, you can actually paint on top of them, so you can go back and do a bit of layering if you want. So I'm using some of the duller colours now just to take the overall effect down a few notches. But again, you could have used some Fanatic paint in there as well. I think that's that sort of very. There's two that are very similar. This was Desolate Brown, and there's also a Brownish Decay. One's kind of a brown based one, and one's a green based, but they look very similar when you go on, if you know what I mean. And there we go. Next, we're going to grab the black, or we could use the black speed paint if you like. Show you the difference between the one that I make and the. No, no, well, she's doesn't make a difference. This will dry slightly quicker because it's slightly thinner. So this is just Vallejo black, really, with my medium in it. I'm going to do some black. Do you know what? I've missed his sleeve. Look at that. Let's get that. No one told me, did they? Sabotage, that's what that was. You spotted that, Rich, didn't you? I'm gonna wait until the end and go, ha! His sleeve's not painted, you haven't finished. Moriarty. Let's do. Let's do a half black. What are they called again? Oh. Capuchon. Is that right? Capuchon. That's what that M's for, isn't it? Moriarty. Rich Moriarty. Wet the brush and just clean the black off the side of the face there again. Don't need any on him. He's got these posh black leggings. They're all the rage in France. High fashion. If you had an idea, Kubler, I've missed that. I was going to do white sleeves, but I thought, I know. Oh, right, okay. It was so obvious. It was sat in plain sight, wasn't it? It was hidden in plain sight. Typical Moriarty move. That's gonna stick now, Rich. I hope not. I'm a bugger for giving people nicknames. Is it in Wayne's World where they do a Scooby Doo ending where they keep pulling masks off? It isn't it? Yeah, they do all those alternative endings, don't they? Right at the end of the film, the Scooby Doo ending. So I've spun out there. People of a certain age will know the Wayne's World endings. I'm sure you can look it up on YouTube. Not for a minute though. Another did you know on that front, Rich, I found out the other day, is the scene in the guitar shop where he's gonna play his Strat and he's gonna play Stairway to Heaven, isn't he? And he goes, "No, Stairway denied." They couldn't get the rights to play to play the chords right. Would have cost them so many 100,000 or something. Zeppelin wanted. So in the original cut of the movie, he plays it completely wrong. He just plays random stuff, and they've just dubbed it back in the last few years. I thought it was funny anyway. Okay, so we're gonna give some brain matter beige. Some of the white bits. So we're an hour and a half, hour and 34 minutes. So let's bring that beige. We're going to hit the fletching. Yeah, we're going to be able to put a lot of extra work into these, I think. Which is good. They're quite bright at the moment, so we've got to work with that a little bit. But we can sort that. That's not an issue. The thing is, though, this is the important thing, and it's the spirit of this channel of why they originally asked me to, all those years ago, to start this channel, was to show people, to try and encourage people to get stuff painted. Well, that's exactly what we're doing tonight, which is mission accomplished tonight. I think painting a point of anything, so whether it's 4 or 8 or even 12, is achievable in an evening, which is what makes Saga, I think, a really good game. And these little, well, I say Saga and skirmish games in general as well. So you don't get the stress of trying to paint these massive armies and there being no end to it and people getting put off, you know? It's really nice to see some progress. I mean, You can literally in a day paint a 4-point starter army to a tabletop level. You know what I mean? Oh, pardon me. That's drinking Monster. Sorry. Other energy drinks are available. I'm just powered by the Monster tonight. Hence my burps. Oh yeah. Hence I'm starting to chatter. So from that brain matter beige. If I was taking a bit longer, I'd have probably gone a tone down from that. That means you're gonna have to do 3 layers of white, you know what I mean? And every extra layer you put on is extra time. Yes. Yes, I think the pendulum's swinging a little bit though. Is I know some of the gone for a big sort of few years of skirmish games being very, very popular, and it's now swinging back the other way with some of the new rules like Midgard and stuff. To do that big battle thing, which again is it's fine, but I just don't think you. It doesn't bother me paying a lot, obviously, but I can see people getting disheartened, and I don't like that. But all the things I've done tonight to speed this batch up work on the bigger numbers too. So I mean, there's no reason to use the tricks that we've used tonight for 100 miniatures. It's still going to speed you up. It's just that, like you said, it's the dauntingness, I suppose, of having that many. I mean, last week I was painting in batches of 40, which is it, I can see what people get. It doesn't bother me, but I can see why it would bother people. You know. I can use that fawn coloured one. I might put a brown. We're not using much brown in this lot, have we? Well, we used that other brown, but choose tree ancient. Just to see some different colours in there. It's not so bad with only 8, but you can get. I'm going to thin the paint again with the medium. I think the other thing that you've got to watch as well, if you're painting a lot of, if you're army painting, is trying to that sounds weird, but trying to paint each miniature too well. I'm going to change his leggings to this brown as well. I've done it with that beige matte brown, but it just looks too bright. So we're going to have some nice dark brown ones. So as I paint along, another thing I'm very aware of is looking at the batch, which is why I rank them up as I move them about. Because I'm looking, what are they going to look like on the table? So things like that. His leggings were too bright. Now, he's nice now. I like that. So adding this brown into the mix against these brighter guys, when you look at the overall, you start mixing them up. We'll have a look at that in a minute. I'm thinking about changing his. Again, that's very. I think we do. I think we're toning him down. Remember that white, especially when you in the photographs, is going to be very glowy. Because that's what white does. So I'm just looking at the overall. I mean, these are warriors. They're decent troops, so they're going to look. It's not like in the Dark Age when you get the crappy levy. You know. Some guys turning up with their best shirt and their pitchfork. You know. Again, you've got to decide if you want to go for that campaign look. You're going to dirty him up a bit, which we can do with washes. So we're nearly there on the sort of base, sort of coloured. Everything's got paint on now. So let's, before we stop putting washes, I'll show you what I mean. So let's mix these coloured ones up. Remember, I've been painting these in order, so they're all in nice order. So let's put them more like a unit. There we go. So now they don't look as bright because we've got enough mixture in there for it to work as. If you mix some of these about even more. There we go. There's enough colours in there to draw your eye amongst the unit, but there's not enough for you to look at and go, ouch. Which I think is important. Hour and 45, Rich. Okay, so now we're going to hit them with some soft tone. I can pretty much go all over in these. Everything should be dry enough by now. You could use strong tone, but I prefer the soft. Again, depends what you're doing with it. Oh. So, just a bit on the thing. If it's looking a bit gloopy, you can add some medium inch brush. Just let it. So it's quite strong on there. So we're looking at any areas really where you want it to either be a little bit dirty or you want to give it some detail. So it's on the word. You don't have to worry so much about our secret weapon because it's sorted. So we can be a bit more selective. That green doesn't need on it because it's obviously, he's pretty much as is, isn't he? You know? But we've done a lot of shortcuts tonight, which is good. So we'll run a bit of medium into that soft tones. It is quite strong, but it's just not as dark as the other one. This is, so you've got the dark tone, which is the black. Then you've got the strong tone, which is the black and the brown together. And then you've got the soft tone, which is just the brown. And if this is soft tone with a little bit of medium in it, just to make it run off the high points. The other way you can do it is, this works really well if you're doing on white. If you get some medium, that's the pure medium, and then paint the whole area so it's wet. Then grab your medium, then run your medium in there. Medium, wash. And when that dries, the wash will just naturally sit into the crevices. If that top bit's dry, look, and that's just pure wash. Can you see the difference? Yeah, add a bit of medium. I think going in full blown with the medium is it's something I don't do very often, in fairness. I'll put medium in with it, and if it's not strong, I'll go back and put some more on. Unless I particularly want that dirty look, and then I might swap into the strong tone anyway. Yeah. So you see that's going to really pick out. We'll just put a bit around the edge of his face there. Okay. So again, on his bow, this works well on the bows. If I can put some pure medium down his bow, look. So his bow is nice and wet and mediumed. And when you put this on, it kind of, if you just dab it on and just touch lightly and let the wash kind of just go in different areas. Just don't try and get it all over. It kind of starts making it look like it's got grain. Well, not some, it kind of suggests it, I suppose. You just get when it dries, you get like a patchy areas. You see how it's going on there. Down there. This is where you can tidy up around his sleeves like this. There's a little bit of light showing through there from the quick shade. Now the brown round is, what's it called again? I've forgotten again. But we're going to put more or less pure on there because we want it to really affect that brown. If you use it on so we did a black wash over the gunmetal earlier to make it look all dull. And I'll show you another trick. So we're using the soft tone. If you put it onto the metal, so there's none on that on his if you put it onto the gun now, it kind of makes it look like it's dirty, rusty, kind of gives that real sort of. Can you see? Compared to the black. It's good. I do that a lot with orcs when I try and make everything look rusty. Instead of putting the black wash on, I'll put a strong tone on, or even a soft tone, and it just makes it look dirty. Which is good if you're looking to make these look a little bit campaigny. This is what I said earlier. We're going to dirty them up a bit. You can even, if some of the colours we've used are a little bit bright for you, you can tone them down with the right, so the red to red, blah 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 blah. But putting some of this on to, we're doing a minute. We grab one of the red or the blue. The dog is making so many noise tonight. Getting a bit medium, so we want this to run across into the gaps. Oh, he was snoring and he did a fart. Oh, it's like an animal. It's like a zoo in here. Help. If you can help, please donate to Save Pirate Rich from Pirate Island. I've got to go quickly before I suffocate in here. That was that chainmail we missed earlier, so I'll just put a bit of this on it. So part of his chainmail looks a bit dirty, which is nice. So because we were 2 hours in, yeah. So we're painting this pace. We're painting 4 miniatures an hour. That red's worked really well. It's hard to see under this light, but I'll get some photographs. Right. Okay, so again, we'll use the brain matter beige up here. I've just put some pure medium. There was a bit left in my brush, but and I'm going to take a little bit of wash. I'm just going to run it around that white. Clean the brush out, and I'm just going to wick some of it off the top higher bits so we don't get too much tea staining. That'd be perfect. There we go. So let's have a look where we're going. I'll tell you what we'll do while we're looking, because we've got an hour of farting around. Pardon the pun. We got an hour now to actually do stuff that make these look a bit fancier. Because technically, I think they're finished. You could chuck them on the table. Yeah. I think you could chuck them on the table once they're lacquered. And they're going to be fine. So I think the pressure is off me here, Rich, in fairness. What we're going to do is we're gonna. I'm not gonna say farting around time. We're gonna fancy pants time now. So we're gonna grab Matt White first. Matthew White. Good old Matty. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna paint them some eyeballs. Of course we are. Because nothing says we spent a bit of time on these than painting all the eyeballs. So there we go. I think I should get extra bonus points for having the dog being distracting me tonight. It's as if Moriarty has sent him yak chews just to. That's it now, mate. I'll tell him at Beast Towers your new name is Moriarty. Wasn't one of Oddball's tank crew called Moriarty? Wasn't he the wasn't he the mechanic? Hey Moriarty, stop it with those negative vibes, man. They are really nice. I do love these front rank miniatures. These even sculpted the teeth. Look, you can paint the teeth. Yeah. Wash your brush out. Grab the blick. Go back to the start, make sure the white's dry. On one of the older versions of this camera phone, right, you could like lock the focus into here, which is great. It just seems all the newer phones do like this autofocus. It'll jump about. So this is time you're doing extra bits to make it all fancy pants. So obviously painting the eyeballs is one cool thing to do. Not that everyone will notice you've done it, but somebody will notice it, and then somebody will point it out, and then everyone will check to see A, if they've all got them, and B, if they're cross-eyed or not. Okay, so next thing, because we're 2 hours 4 minutes we're on now, so we can still got time to play. So we're going to go for, we started with Moonstone skin, didn't we? And we did the Crusader Flesh wash. So now we're going to go to Agate skin. We put on this video, speed paint in 3 hours, blah, blah, blah. To build some tension. And of course, tomorrow it's going to upload and it's going to say 2 hours 57. Or 2 hours 40. So we're going to just highlight the flesh out. So we're going to do forehead, nose, cheek, cheek, chin. Then we're going to do knuckles. Then second knuckle on his finger. Yeah. We're looking for any bits of flesh that are pointing up. So we're going to hit the top of his fingers there. His knuckles there. Top of his hand. Paint lines going down his fingers. There we go. This will obviously give you a chance to round out any of the eyes if you need to, or nose, can't get to his forehead, cheek, top lip, chin. Yeah, good shout. So again, I've hit the knuckles there because they're upwardly pointing. And the top of his hand there's in the light, which is cool. That is picking out a little bit. I notice he's got like a wrist guard on there, so just grab that ordinary brown. Just paint that in. It's the beauty of having a wet palette. Evening, Artemis. So Artemis Nix. Welcome, mate. So yeah, we're just going this guy's forehead. Okay. There's some little bits on it we're going to work on in a sec. But so it's down his nose, top of his cheeks. on his chin, or bottom lip, we'll catch him there. There we go. A bit more on his nose. A bit more medium. This guy's got a funny eye, so let's sort that out. So a little bit off the top. Flatten it out all across the bottom. There you go. The thing is, no one's got two symmetrical eyes, so it's, as long as they don't look big and goopy and what have you, you're on a winner, I think. That's the technical words. And again, highlighting on these fingers, I'm looking at the top edge. It's not because they're shining in the light, but that's the light where the light picks up and makes it look lighter. We all know shadows, how they work. So say these are just, this is what I was talking about earlier about doing the stages, how we did them. It's allowed us to get to a tabletop ready kind of status, and now we've chosen to carry on and do extra work to them. But we could have stopped and started some more or whatever, but we'd allotted 3 hours, so hey, that's why I'm still here. Hopefully it's why you're still here, if you're still here. So again, forehead, nose, cheekbone, cheekbone, upper lip, chin, and top of his knuckle, that top finger, his thumb, that's all in the light. As we go back down, if you hold it like this, you can sort of see where it goes around the corner where the shadow's going to hit. He's got a wrist guard on as well. We're going to sort that out with some brown. Dip back into the speed palette. So again, if we hadn't had the time to do that, no one's going to spot you've missed that. But because we've got the time, we can do the crime. And this one was a final fleshy bit, so nose, cheekbone, top lip, chin. Look at his hand. Let's start with his fingertips. They're up in the light. Then the knuckle. So that's joint, and then that's the knuckles are there, aren't they? But you know what I mean. You don't want to paint the whole thing. You want to suggest. Okay. There we go. That was the insane detail brush, which is the next one up from the Psycho. So next we're going to grab some greedy gold, because we can't have a miniature go by where I don't put any greedy gold on it, because it's my thing. I put greedy gold on stuff. Grab one of the old brushes. Hopefully one's got a little bit of a point left. I'm just going to grab the odd button, belt buckle, the top of that handle of the dagger. I mean, I'm going to put a matte lacquer over this anyway, so it's not going to be gold. It's going to be like a brass or coppery kind of look to it. He's got some buttons there. That's all right for him. Yeah, I left most of the daggers for this bit. And the dog snores some more. That's the support I get from my dog. Just that buckle on his belt. So little bits like this, we're just mucking about and making stuff look a little bit more interesting. The job's done, really. We've got to stick some tufts on them and they're done. Twinnies them too. That's the other thing as well. If you go to the Griffin Beast website, rather than buying a packet and risk getting twins, which doesn't really matter, but if you go to the front rank plate order and order the ones that you like, you can have a very custom look to your guys. It's a bit like your plastics, isn't it? You want to make all your plastics sort of look different. You could do the same with your front rank. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to have to use the brush with a point on it for this one. Is brigandine, or whether it's studded leather, something like that. I think it's brigandine. We're gonna pick out all these dots because we've got time to, because we've got 3/4 of an hour. So I'm gonna grab some medium onto my brush so that it flows well. And I'm just gonna paint all these little rivets. Just in case we... Yeah, it's good. It's a brilliant option, isn't it? I was talking to Lord S about it. And yeah, I'm looking at all these guys making Age of Chivalry stuff. And just, rather than buying a box of plastic and being stuck with, the options, they've got good options, but having the option to actually singly pick a whole warband is just absolutely awesome. And the new range they're doing is exactly the same as well with the I can't remember the name of the Rich Help. It's the guys they just bought out. Well, they didn't buy them out. They've gone in house with them. So he's going to carry on. The guy that owns it is going to carry on doing the sculpting, and they're going to make the miniatures for him. Oh God! But they fit right in with all the front rank stuff. Yeah, so I mean, I'm doing the 4-point starter box, which is got the front rank stuff in it. But if I do another one, I'm going to the front rank pages and order me up some the ones I choose. think it begins with C. They've been around years, haven't they? I know it's on their website. If you go to the Facebook page and just scroll back a few, they were busy this week when I went up there, clearing the room in the main warehouse for them to put all the extra machines in and stuff to really start turning it over. That was me looking at the screen, and I painted an extra dot in there. There we go. Yes. I have to lay a bit of black. Oh no, should be right. A bit on the edge of the buckler. Is that bit done? 2 hours, 20 minutes. It's not bad, is it? It's my secret weapon. That's the bit in there. So I'm just going around now and checking and just sorting any little bits out. We could put a wash into some of these colours to tone them down a bit, but again, I am going to be running matte lacquer over them, so you don't really need to. I need to pick some of the chainmail back up because I put the black wash over the chain all over the gunmetal. I'm going to hit some of it with shining silver. Because we've got time to. Get the most knackered brush. Yep, it's that one. Because we want to load the brush out and then unload it. And we're just going to do some little areas. They're going to be the areas where the light's catching. We don't want to go all over. It's kind of the top edge of that hammer. I know what we can do. Let's spot something else we can do. So I mean, once we're done, then we can then start saying, oh, I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm going to do that. And that's how your stuff gets to look better, because you're spending that extra time fiddling about with it. You know what I mean? But say I didn't even go back into the silver, then I'm just using it as not quite a dry brush, but nearly, you know what I mean? It's our overbrush idea. So we're just letting the brush dance around in areas that could potentially catch a bit of light. The edge of these tips of the arrows, that we're not going to go all Excalibur on its arse and have everything chrome, but we want some of it. It's like in, yeah, so on his chest we're just going to touch down a bit, on the edge of his sleeves, dome of that helm. Is it scratches? Is it scuffs? Does he scuff some of the dirt off of it? Is it the edge of that axe? I don't know, But what it is it makes it interesting for your eye to look at. So it draws your eyes into the miniatures, and that's what we want to do. So just the top of the helm there, top of those arrows, tips of the arrows, a bit there. There we go. Oh my god, that was a horrendous one again. Dog is off yak treats forever. So, well, I noticed these guys have got like a lace going through their padded tunic, so we're going to paint that in. We want to show these guys in, so we can go white or we could go darker. I'm gonna go darker. I'm gonna paint it. We're gonna use carnelian skin, which is gonna make it look a little bit leathery, I suppose. Kind of like a rhinoc hide red, sort of like a reddy brown. I could use my cheapy brush. Let's use our insane detail brush because it. Oh, pardon me. Could have. Okay. Pretty fancy stuff. And dip into the medium, keep our brush nice and moist. It's almost starting to do that it takes some of the brightness out of it all as well. So we're just going to grab a little bit of gold. Got little buttons. Let's do those as well. So we saved a lot of time early on in this on this paint job by using the limited palette of speed colors, speed paints that we used, and we're paying that back now by using that time we've saved to do extra fancy bits. So, you know, you got to look at the miniature you're painting, I suppose, is the upshot of that. Is the colours on these guys would have looked better if we layered them up with ordinary paint, for sure. There's no argument there. Not that these look fine, but a layered up red would have probably looked better. But would it have been better than doing all the eyes, all those little details? Yeah, and all like making the armor shine and stuff like that. All those bits we did because we were able to save time on the process overall. So if we look at them as a batch now, that's 2.5 hours. I don't think there's anything else to do. We can stick some tufts on there if you want. We might as well, if my glue's not jammed up from earlier. It is. Let's see if we can jam the glue quick. They are self-adhesive, the tufts, but as war gamers know, if you don't glue them on, they will end up in the coming off in the box when you get to where you're going to play. So I keep an old spare pin vise just to I think it's still blocked from earlier. It's always trouble when you're using super glue a lot. I give it another go. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Let's put the lid on the dry palette, wet palette for a minute. Where's my tufts gone? What I do is I use Game of Grass ones. I buy a mixed green 6mm, the 70 one, the random shapes. I also buy the 144 one, which are the little dots, because this makes your tufts last longer. Because I like putting 2 on. So if you, oh, sorry, I just banged the camera. Let's welcome to the. I was going to say Wild West, then it's the. So I'll just put a dab of glue on, and then I hit it with one of the random shape ones. And then I get another dab of glue on, and I get one of just the ordinary little round ones, because obviously there's twice as many of those. So rather than use every little helps, doesn't it? That should be somebody's catchphrase. Once we've done this, so there we have it. A weird shapy one on. I find if they overhang too much, I take scissors to them and give them a little trim. It's effective way to make some half decent bases. Have a look. As in the morning, I'll lacquer these as usual. Stick them in the old light box. Put the pics up on Facebook and X and Blue Sky. People can have a look at them. And hopefully, if the weekend all goes well, we should have some new piratey news for people next week. be interesting. And yeah, every so often I do it with just 2 little dots. I think it makes it a bit more random as well. As I said, these are self-adhesive, these Game of Grass ones. And they do stick on rather well, actually. But being in this hobby makes you a bit belt and braces, doesn't it? There you go. I think people get hung up on stuff, and it's pretty keep everything straightforward. I don't feel that we've terribly rushed these. And using the same method, I think we could have got the 12 done in 3 hours, but the 12 we wouldn't have been able to have these extra bits on, if you know what I mean. But if they're the levy, right, put this glue out of the way from it. Once we do our finishing thoughts, shall we? So as you can see, I think as a little 8-man unit of warriors, that's what we're going to see on the table. Let's have a closer look. See how they hold up at close. So 2 hours, 34 minutes. I always think these guys always look cool. The Robin Hoodie type. See what I mean? Now the bright ones don't look as bright because we've mixed some of the duller colours in. So it kind of as a unit dulls them down. Speed paints are a tool. They're not a solution to everything. They're a tool in your toolbox. Cheers, Artemis. Thank you. Cheers, Cubes and Rich. There's the last one. As I said, I will stick these in the light box in the morning once I've had time to lacquer them. And put the pictures up on our Facebook page, our X page, and our Blue Sky page. Okay, I think that's it. I think we've done it. 2 hours, 36 minutes. Not bad. Not bad at all. Quite pleased with that. Well, thank you for joining me, guys. Yeah, have a great weekend. If you got this far, well done. If you're not subscribed, a subscribe would help always. And a like and any comments. And I should be back in the seat again next Friday. Should have done an unboxing video before that as well. Also, if you could take a look at my other channel, Pirate Rich Plays. And I'm just going to try and do a new video for that tomorrow as well. And it all should start working together fairly soon. Yes, I've got a Moriarty style plan, Rich. Okay, well, thank you very much. If you're watching this back tomorrow, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever. And drop subscribes, likes. Don't forget, go on to Griffin Beasts. Yeah, I'll get some air now. You're right, Cubes. Yeah, go to Griffin Beasts, have a look through the front rank, yeah, and you'll be surprised how you can order them and you can pick the exact miniature you want. That is service. I tell you what, that is a cool. So you can customize your 8 archers or your men at arms or whatever. Go and have a look. They're brilliant. Don't forget to tell them that Pirate Rich sent you. All right, guys. I'll see you again next time. Have a good weekend, guys. Cheers, then. Good night.